Hey, it's Keto Granny Cooks. Tonight I'm making salmon and roasted red pepper sauce. Let's get started. These are the ingredients that we will be using in the recipe tonight. I'm trying the coho salmon. I've heard so much about it. So I have 2 nice size fish fillets of the coho salmon. Have a half a bag of baby spinach. I have my Parmesan cheese. You'll be using a 1/4 cup of that. Red peppers, you'll be roasting these. You'll need about a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. About a 1/4 cup of parsley, so I'm using parsley flakes. You're going to use garlic. You're going to use butter, your pepper, and I'm using my Himalayan pink salt and heavy whipping cream. And then the oil of choice that I'm using is coconut oil. You can use olive oil or ghee, whichever you prefer. So these are the ingredients. Let's get started. First, you want to roast your peppers. So the skillet is already hot. I'm going to add my peppers and let those cook for about 2 minutes until they start looking burnt. That's when you know that they're roasted and really ready to be used. After you're finished roasting your peppers, about 2 or 3 minutes, put them in a bowl and set them aside. You want to use the same skillet. To this skillet, you're going to be adding your salmon. So you want to wash and season your salmon with your salt and your pepper. And season both sides really well. Once you have that side seasoned, flip your salmon fillets over and season the opposite side also. And make sure you put enough salt and pepper because you want to be able to taste it. Sometimes I under-season my food, so that's why I'm stressing just to make sure that you put enough salt and pepper so that you can season it to taste. In the skillet, add your oil. I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil. I'm going to let that melt. Now once this melts, I'm going to add my salmon fillets and I'm going to let those brown on each side. And it's best to start cooking your salmon fillets with the flesh side down. And I'm going to let this cook for 5 to 6 minutes on each side. Oh, I got all 4 in there. Great. And as the salmon cooks, you can see as it cooks, it turns from pink to white. Okay, so I've turned the salmon to the other side and it's done on both sides. Now I'm getting ready to take it from the pan and I'm going to put it in a dish and set the salmon fillets aside while I make the red pepper sauce. It looks so good. Smells delicious. And you want to use your pan drippings in your red pepper sauce. So I'm scraping my pan just to make sure I get the good drippings and everything mixed in there really well. To this I'm going to add my butter. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter. And to my butter, I'm going to add my minced garlic. And I'm going to mix these 2 ingredients around in the pan really well. I want to mix it really well in with the pan drippings. so that everything, blends in really well and flavorful and gets a really good seasoning. To this, I'm adding my roasted red peppers, and I'm going to let these simmer for about 2 minutes while I'm getting my other ingredients ready. To this, you want to add your spinach, and add in your half a bag of spinach. I added in a little bit at a time, and you want to just let this start wilting down. You don't want to let it wilt down too badly. Just let it start wilting down, and then you want to blend it in so you can get it where it just starts wilting really well, and that's when you're going to start adding in your other ingredients. So as I said, you're going to let your spinach cook down. You want to mix your spinach in with the red peppers, the garlic, and the butter, and the pan drippings really good. You want to make sure you get your spinach mixed in there really well. Now, after you've got all these ingredients mixed in really well, you can let them simmer in the pan while you add your half a cup of heavy whipping cream. Now I'm going to add a little bit more whipping cream a little bit later on in this recipe. You can add a little bit more if you want a little bit more of the sauce. I'm going to add my 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and I'm going to add a little bit of the parsley flakes. Not a lot because I prefer to have the real parsley, but I'm going to add enough to season it well. Not a 1/4 cup. Next, I'll be adding my salt and my pepper. Again, I'll be using the Himalayan pink salt. Now after you add all these ingredients, you want to mix well. Mix these ingredients real well in the pan. And after you get them mixed well, then you're going to add in your 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. You want to mix that in well. Now, something that the recipe doesn't call for that I added is I added just a little bit of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I added it for the coloring and then also to give it a more robust flavor. After you add in the shredded sharp cheddar cheese, make sure you mix it well. You don't have to add in a bunch. Just make sure you mix it well. And you're going to let your spinach and everything cook for a minute or two until it starts thickening up. You will notice how thick that you want it. So after you add your shredded cheddar cheese, you want to blend everything in really well again. I'm adding a little bit more heavy cream here. Taste the sauce, it tastes good. Okay, now to the sauce you want to add the salmon fillets back into the pan, and you want to put the sauce over the meat to make sure that it's covered really well. You want to make sure it's smothered. And you can do that by just scooping the pasta sauce over the salmon fillet, or either you can turn it, flip, and whatever you need to do to get it covered, because you want to make sure that your salmon is covered in the pasta sauce and that it simmers for just a moment or two to get that flavor in there really, really well. Let that simmer for a minute or two while the sauce thickens. And as you can see, you will have a lovely, beautiful dish. And this dish can be made for the family. It can be made ahead of time and used for a meal prep. But this is a wonderful meal and your family will love it. And it's nutritious and full of healthy omega-3s. Enjoy, everyone. This is Keto Granny saying if this video helps you in any way, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you next time on Keto Granny Cooks. Don't forget to